Hey there. I'm going to talk to you today about using absolute words. So, absolute words are words where it's all or nothing. So, it is saying things along the lines of never, always, all of, every. So, words like that, whenever you're saying words like that, you use an absolutist words. One of the ways that this can cause problems for us is that it will keep us stuck in a way of thinking and kind of cloud out other options. It kind of holds us in. I'm talking about this today because I've had a couple of conversations with people over the last couple of days where there was a lot of that. I could never was used a couple of times, and that's not me. I never, or I always, things like that. So I'll give you an example of sometimes how this works. So just say you've had a bad experience. I'm going to use something from my own life. Just say you've had a bad experience with a person with a particular name. Well, maybe you decide that everybody with that name now is suspect. So now, always, every person that is named Al is a problem. Every man named Al is a potential maniac. So you have given a blanket statement across all time, or just say that you are watching the news and you keep hearing that, certain people think certain ways. Now, you don't know that for yourself. You're just hearing it's hearsay from a journalist on TV, or not even a journalist. Somebody's just yapping away on TV. And you believe it. You believe it. So now all Democrats, all Republicans, all women, all men, all people in this particular age group, all people who live in this state, all. So absolutist problems right there. The weird thing is that whenever you keep using that, it actually leads you down this path to depression and isolation, for sure. Now, you can see that in the environment. When people do that, they tend to have to gravitate toward people who think like them, and they become caught up in this wheel of like this it can almost become cult-like. They can be stuck in a cult almost. And they're isolated from the population, and they get stuck in their thinking. So that's all not good. But the worst part of it is that absolute language can actually start to trigger depression, and start to create all kinds of problems. One of the things that they have found over time is that when they've studied the people who have, anxiety or depression, or who are suicidal, they've seen that there's very similar words that are used frequently. And many of those words that are used frequently are absolutist words. So these people will say things like, I never catch a break. I'm always being persecuted. I. So they found that they are more likely to use first person, me, myself, and I, and they also are more inclined to have absolutist words in there. So the absolutist words they pull us away from different ideas, and they pull us away from the society as a whole. It leaves us with less options to get better, or to think outside of that structure that we already had. And me, myself, and I leaves us feeling isolated. If you do that too much, you can definitely start having major, major problems. They have been able to look at some of the, some of the different emails or writings of people who've passed away by suicide or who were in severe depression, and they see this pattern every single time. So be really, really careful with it. So how do you know that you're heading in the wrong direction and that your perception is getting in the way of you? If you say those absolutist words. So avoid saying never, avoid saying always, avoid saying every. And truly, the truth of the matter is that's not how the world works anyway. The world doesn't work on absolutes. The world is moving, shaking, changing all the darn time. Thank God. Thank God. And sometimes it feels like it's not going to change and it's miserable. But it will change. It will. It goes through ebbs and flows. So I hope that helped you a little bit today. I've had to have these long conversations with people where, it's really been interesting, where they were kind of stuck. Like they just were stuck. They just didn't feel like that was an option to them. They just said, well, it's always that way, and then just let it go. Well, it's not. Nothing is always that way. So have a good day, and I'm looking forward to talking to you again soon. Bye-bye now.